Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to the Robert Sports Show. I'm your host, Robert. Alright, GCW breaking. GCW review there from 421 from the Dirty Bourbon in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Dave Prazak and Beta Scott on commentary like normal. We had a really good show, just a standard good show. It wasn't anything more than spectacular. It wasn't a lot of just hardcore gimmicks and stuff, just straight down the middle of the fairway kind of show. First match we had Jack Cartwheel versus JKM. Now JKM, a young wrestler with off the rope training, which is actually done by Gino Rivera. He's in the next match, so it's one of his students. And when going up against Jack Cartwheel, JKM, don't know anything about him. Never seen him before. First match I've watched him. I will say he is got a lot of talent. He was able to hang with Jack Cartwheel for about 11 minutes. Great little match. Ended up giving it 3 stars. Jack Cartwheel getting the victory. But JKM definitely a student of the match and kind of learned as he went in the match. So the next match was Jordan Oliver versus Gino Rivera, who is the trainer there at Off the Ropes Training. Jordan Oliver, your former JCW champion, actually been wrestling all over Europe back in February, so I love watching, go back and watching some of those Rev Pro shows and OTT and seeing Jordan Oliver on those cards. It's like, hey, the GCW guy. But this was one of those matches, kind of like the first match. Gino Rivera kind of learning from Jordan Oliver as they went. Jordan Oliver able to get the victory there, ended up giving it 3 1/4. Next up was kind of just a squash match. It was Colt versus Mance Warner. Mance Warner came in with Colt and Mr. Rogers in basically like a chair just annihilated him. This was actually his first match, at least on cage match, since 2016. So, I mean, he may have had some other indie stuff since then, but actually on cage match. So, yeah, it was literally 2 minutes, 53 seconds. I give it 1 star. Manser getting the victory, officially getting the victory there, but just annihilating Colt with a chair. Next up, we had Billy Starks, Ring of Honor Women's TV Champion Billy Starks, going up against Dark Sheik. Great little match here. 13 minutes, these two went out there and just put on a clinic. It was a great match, 3 1/4 star. Billy Starks getting the victory. I love seeing young talent winning in multiple companies. I kind of wish she would have carried her ROH Women's TV title with her. Just like I wish Blake Christian, when he goes over to GCW, or goes over to Ring of Honor, he would bring his GCW title with him. I think kind of crossing those boundaries like that, even though the talent is allowed to, but bringing those belts with them, I think Lauderdale and Tony Khan could work something out where you can kind of see that. Be like, oh, that's who Billy Starks is. You know, she's got that Ring of Honor title. Blake Christian goes in the Ring of Honor. Oh, he's GCW champion. I don't know what that company is. Maybe I'll go look it up, kind of deal. That little cross-promotion thing I think would be kind of really neat. But Billy Starks getting the victory there over Dark Sheik. Next up, we had one called Manders taking on Ocean Avery. Ocean Avery from the Off Ropes Training. First match I've ever seen with him. Manders, though, and I've said this before, Manders is kind of like an old school Bradshaw. 10 minutes, these two went out there and just brawled. 3 1/4 star match with Manders getting the victory. Next up, we had Joey Janela versus Fuego del Sol. Fuego del Sol, former AEW talent, same way with Joey Janela, that bad boy. These two went out there and put on a hell of a good match. 15 minutes, and every spot just getting better and better for these two. Joey Janela ended up getting the victory. I love the fact Joey Janela can go out there and hardcore wrestle, or he can lucha libre wrestle. He can do it all. We're getting the victory there, and they're giving it 3 1/2. This was match of the night. Next up, we had a hardcore match. Nick Gage versus Broski Jimmy. Even Nick Gage said, we need the real Jimmy Lloyd back. We had chairs getting involved. We had doors getting involved. We had the pizza cutter getting involved. We had a hardcore Nick Gage match. What else can get involved? Nick Gage getting the victory over Brusque Jimmy. Again, we need Jimmy fucking Lloyd back. I know he lost that match with Matt Cardona, so he has to be Brusque Jimmy now. I wish we could do something and get him out from under Steph Delander and Matt Cardona, but only time will tell on that storyline. Ooh, there's a word. But Nick Gage getting the victory and giving it a 3-star. Then our main event was for the GCW World Heavyweight Title. Champion Blake Christian versus Effie. Effie finally getting his title shot, well-deserved title shot. Was really, really pulling for him here. Unfortunately, Mance Warner, who is the number one contender, won the number one contender battle royal, hasn't cashed his number one contendership in yet. Almost did it here, but ended up attacking Effie and took Effie out instead. Blake Christian was able to retain his title. At one point, he kind of thought Mance was going to cash in that title guarantee spot he has. He did not. But he ended up costing Effie the title. So we have Blake Christian still here, GCW Heavyweight Champion of the World. With the outside interference, I ended up giving that match a 3-star as well, with Blake Christian retaining. So again, just like with How High, breaking GCW, good, just straight down the middle of the show. 3.5 was the best match with Joey Janela and Fuego del Sol. As always, thanks for watching Robert Sports Show. Remember, Robert Sports Show, from the independent scene to the main event of WrestleMania. Don't just have a great evening, have a spiffy night. Robert Sports Show, your YouTube leader in sports channel content.